What it do, what it do. Welcome to another one over here, Game Chopping TV. Tap in, like, comment, and subscribe because we chopping this game over here, man. Had to tap into this one, man. That girl Glorilla. You know what I'm saying? She out here definitely been making noise, you know what I'm saying, with the music and stuff. But at the same time, too, we have seen little viral videos of her, being arrested, things like that, being intoxicated while driving, I think, in one of them. Crazy, right? But I seen one, I guess this has happened here recently, but it looks like the news of it, kind of kicked off today. And so what happened? And this is really a crazy situation, but let's spit it. What happened was, so Glorilla, she was out of town, out of state, in Indianapolis to perform at like some WNBA event or show at a game or something. A pretty let me see, All-Star game. Okay, the WNBA All-Star game. Okay, so while she's gone, for her performance and all that stuff, some people basically burglarized her crib. It's in the Atlanta area. But some people burglarized her crib. They say it was three dudes, basically, three men that broke in her house, and was trying to rob her. And so they say that while they were, in the moment of trying to rob her, that somebody that was in the house, came and started firing at them. You know what I'm saying? All three of them, got away. They say they don't believe that nobody got hit or anything from when the person fired at them. And that was, I guess that's, what a moment, right? To have somebody there to protect your stuff while you're gone. And that's, dope, smart move, I guess you could say. Well, it was good the way it did turn out. I guess that, I don't know what they got or if they got anything though. They may have still gotten off with some stuff. They may not have. I don't know, but so that happened, and I guess the police came and everything, right? So they're doing their investigation, I guess, getting what all taking in what all happened. But while that's going on, I guess they smelled a little bit of green. You know what I'm saying? They smelled some chronic. And they say that in the closet in her house that it was a significant amount of chronic. You know what I'm saying? She basically had a significant amount of chronic. Gasoline, dank, endo, whatever you want to call it, flour. But yeah, she had quite a bit of it. And so I guess after all that happened, after she performed and all that, got that over with, she basically had to come either turn herself in when she got back into the state of Georgia and stuff like that, or whatever, what have you. And so she ends up getting arrested. This is what you see right here, I guess, her mugshot, and she put on her Twitter, I think, that or Instagram, one of them, but she put on her social media like, man, my crib get broke into, my crib get invaded. Instead of them focusing on the suspects, they worried about this chronic that I had and arrest me. So basically, I'm the only one that went to jail. I went to jail. The people who did this, they scot-free. Not even worried about them, really, you know what I'm saying? And that is a screwed up situation. And I'll just say this for the record. If it was a white person, I don't think it would have been the same thing. I feel like they would have taken it as, oh, this is her home. This is that's what she had for personal use. We're here for the robbery. We're going to stick to that. We're not going to even do all that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what we're called for. But I guess, like I say, for the simple fact that she's black and people they were dealing with were black, it's they have, you better be clean as ever, because any little thing they gonna demonize you. It's, I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy. But that's the way I feel. Right? I feel like if she was a white woman, if she wasn't black, they wouldn't have done that. If she, that's the way I feel. If she was a blonde-haired white woman, or just a blonde-haired white guy. They wouldn't have focused on that. It would have been all about what they're there for, you know. But instead, the person who's the victim, the police made a suspect. When you're black, you can't be the victim. You know what I'm saying? Any little thing boom, suspect. And look, but then, well, I guess when you think about it too, the person that did the shooting, maybe they didn't know that all that was there, or maybe they just didn't think that, because I guess they were probably walking around in the house or something, came close to it and just smelled some skunk, and got to, turning it into, like I said, turned the victim into the suspect for something else instead of, that, hey, you got people out here that's robbing people, come on. But yeah, well, like I say, being black, yeah, I mean, you're the suspect. We're gonna figure out and find. We're gonna go out our way to make you a suspect still because you're black. Yeah, you got all this money. Yeah, you decent house and all that. Yeah, and that's even more of a reason why. Yeah, to let you live this wealthy life and try to be a victim. Nah. You know what I'm saying? No, we got to turn you into a suspect. I mean, because that really took something in them, right? To even just turn it into something like that against the people who were just burglarized. But like I say, and maybe when stuff was in the closet, maybe that's what the person who called the police, or who was there, who did the shooting, who shot back at it, was shot at those robbers. Maybe that's what he did, was he or she, whatever, that's what he did, was put the chronic off in the closet, thinking, okay, that's all I should have to do. They should be just focused on the robbers, the situation that just happened here. It's crazy. It's crazy work, though. That's crazy work. Like I say, that's my take, because that's just the way they do things, and it's not cool. It's not fair. I mean, speaking like that to white people, because that's what I'm assuming that they were, people that made it that big of an issue. That my take, or some people that's trying to impress some white people. It's still that's my take. I could, and I almost guarantee I'm right. It's just like I say, man. If they were a white person, I feel like they would have looked at it. This is their property. This is their stuff. We're only here for this call. We're not going to, But with this being a black person who's got, a little bit of money, boom, they had to do it. It's just in them. It's just in them. And I can go on and on about how the science of that works with those idiots who just tend to want to always criminalize black people and go out their way for it and stuff like that. I can go on and hours with it, but y'all get the point. I don't think it would have been that same way. And it sucks. That, they tripped over some chronic that hard. And the person's house is fucking being, robbed. At this point, the only way those people that would get caught is if they get on social media and admit it themselves, because it's turned into a bigger case than them just getting caught. And so it's just tweaked out. I don't agree. I don't dig it. Because that could be any of us. They may even indulge in flour. With a little bit of flour. Have them to be sitting up there tripping off your joint in your ashtray after your crib and got broken into or something. But then they say it was a significant amount. I mean, maybe could have been over a few O's or a pound or something. Pound or two. Who knows? But still, I don't agree with how that went down. I don't think if it was a white person, I don't think it went that way. I just don't, you know. But hey, y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Should it have happened? Should it have happened just because they found or smelt it, even though they was there for another call? Do y'all think, like I'm feeling, like if she was white, they wouldn't have went that far and just been serviced what they were there for and got to scout in the area and looking for black people. The first black person they see, hem them up, you know what I'm saying, versus her situation. You know, it don't seem like none of that happened. They, hell, like I say, turned her into the suspect of something else instead of, you know, trying to find the people who did what they did. But anyway, that's my take on it, man. I don't agree. They suck. That sucks. You know, I just don't agree. I don't agree. And I don't think it would have went the same way. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments, man. Another one over here, Game Chopping TV. Tap in, like, comment, and subscribe because we are chopping this game over here, man.